Hello everybody and welcome back, where in the PSVR2 world a lot has happened over the last couple of days and I want to talk about it. So welcome back to PSVR2 News. Before we get into this, only 25% of you are actually subbed to the channel, so please feel free to do so if you enjoy the content around here and you find yourself here often. With that being said, let's thank our patrons and members and let's get on with it, shall we? First off, we have a bunch of release dates that have now been revealed to the public. First of which is Undead Citadel, coming out in 4 days time on the 26th. I actually announced this a couple of days ago in a PSVR2 news video and then removed it from the video because I wasn't supposed to yet. The messaging wasn't the clearest in terms of the embargo details. I thought that I can talk about the game itself until the 26th, but really I couldn't talk about the release date until the 26th, but then the release date got announced the other day anyway, so I can say it now, the release date is the 26th. Some reviews are already out there. From the messaging that I've got, there's an embargo on gameplay and reviews until the game drops, but I don't know if that's the case anymore. I'm assuming we can now post whatever because everybody just seems to be posting, but there'll be a review of that at some point over the next couple of days. Either way, it looks very fun. I'm excited to jump in and give it a try. We also got a release date for Firmament. This is on the 2nd of July. Quite an expansive puzzle game on PSVR2. Hopefully it looks the part because on the flat screen it looks incredible. We've been waiting for this one for a while. I know some reviewers have got keys. I have emailed into Cyan World. They have not replied just yet, but I've heard some other creators saying that they're going to have to wait for keys, so it's a bit of a strange situation. I might be able to review it before the game drops. I might not. I really hope I do because I'd love to do that for you guys, but yeah, no clue. And lastly, for these release dates, we have Crave on the 10th of July. We've been looking forward to this one because it's a spelunking game. You head down into caves and you crawl through tiny gaps and you try and mark your areas and your routes so you know your way out. And it should provide quite a unique VR experience. And if it runs well and looks good, especially with the OLED panels, the darkness of those caves is going to be terrifying. I believe the team were experimenting with adding enemies to the game. I don't know if that's a thing yet. I don't think it is off the top of my head, but that might come later down the line. At the moment, it's just quite a spooky cave exploration game with no horror or survival elements in terms of enemies just yet, but I'll have to double check that. So that is on the 10th, so July is getting a couple titles already lining up there. Zombie Army VR has received Bhaptics support. I've known this for a little bit, I forgot to mention it in the review I should have done, that's my bad, but it's now popped up on the Bhaptics website as a natively supported game, so if you have a Bhaptics suit and you're looking for each and every game on PSVR2 that supports it, Zombie Army now does. So if you want to feel yourself get attacked by a horde of the undead, there you go. New PSVR2 game Presentiment of Death, which just dropped a couple days ago, has got its first patch, and it's introduced a lot of stuff that people have been clamoring for. This is the game where you have a bow and arrow and you have to shoot a bunch of enemies before they get to you, and time moves slowly when you don't draw your bow and moves faster when you do. It's a bit like Super Hot but with a bow and arrow essentially. It's quite a simple game, it's pretty fun though, but there isn't that much replay value to it here, and it did have a couple of low points for me, including no smooth turning, which I really wanted for this game because especially when you're playing tethered or moving in a smaller space freely, it's a bit harder, so that was kind of needed, and luckily it's here now. You can smooth turn in the game. They've added some aim assist as well if you want it, and some updated haptic support, which is great to see. So well done, Presentiment of Death devs. After we got the blow of Beat Saber, unfortunately not continuing support on PSVR2, we've had a couple of games jump out and give their support to the headset, including Synth Riders. Now, if you don't know Synth Riders, it's a fantastic rhythm game. I'd equate it more to dancing really than Beat Saber. Beat Saber's, slicing the blocks, but Synth Riders is kind of vibing along to the music, but still takes quite a lot of skill to actually get through the higher end levels. And they have a really great selection of music nowadays. They picked up a ton of licensed artists. And if you want to support a beat game on PSVR2 that's going to support us back, Synth Riders is that game. As they said, they'll support us for years to come. An upcoming PSVR2 game of Lies and Rain, which is a story-focused, first-person shooter set in a dark sci-fi post-apocalyptic world, has had an interesting journey towards the platform so far, and a very good one in my opinion. It's a bit similar to the Undead Citadel devs with this, where the Of Lies and Rain developers have been saying that they want to hear from us about what our favourite settings are for VR games and what we want to see, and this has actually given us some insight into positional reprojection on PSVR2, and this may be really, really boring to a lot of you, but for me and a couple of other people who know that this exists on GT7 and haven't really seen it anywhere else, this is quite a good insight into how that works. So essentially, the normal reprojection on PSVR2 is not this positional reprojection. It's traditional, you get that ghosting, and overall when you're smooth turning it doesn't look that great, but when GT7 came along on PS5 Pro, it got an enhancement with positional reprojection. Now, this made the game feel almost native when you were playing, but it was exclusive to the PS5 Pro, and we were wondering, is that because it needs the extra horsepower, or did they want to just lock that to the higher console as a perk for buying it? Well, the Ovlies and Rain devs have been playing around with positional reprojection behind the scenes, and they've said that, yes, the extra horsepower of the Pro will probably help to make it work, because they're trying to make it work on the base PS5 for their game, and it's introducing a lot of frame hitching. That's not the only problem though, as we already know that positional reprojection introduces artifacting. We've seen it in GT7, and apparently it's not producing great results for the Ovlies and Rain developers. So it seems like, yes, it does take quite a bit of horsepower to make that work, and it does introduce its own issues, but it can just be enabled behind the scenes for any developer. So that's some great insight from those devs, and I just thought it was worth mentioning here for those of you that are interested. For all you Gran Turismo fans, including myself, a new update is coming this week. This is looking to be an entirely European lineup of vehicles, including the Peugeot 2008, a Citroen BX, and the Lancia Delta, which I'm really excited for. That rally car is going to be so much fun to drive. I'll be making a video as always on this one. And lastly, for GT7, if you do own the game, head over to the main menu, go to the top right for the viewers campaign and watch the 2 streams it tells you to. There's only today left in this event, but it's worth mentioning now as a last minute thing. By the end of today, if you go and do that, you'll get the Group 3 winning car of the league on the left, and if you watch the right one, you'll get the Aston Martin Valkyrie, I believe. So there's not long left in it, it's just a last minute thing, but if you have GT7, there's a chance to get 2 great cars for free if you just go and watch those before midnight tonight. And lastly, we had Climate Station launch on PSVR2 since the last news video dropped. This is a climate change app which shows you the trajectory of the world and our previous data sets in terms of temperature and ice caps and all that stuff. Overall, it's just a bit of an informational experience. It's available flat and in VR, but this was made officially by Sony, which is kind of cool to see them create something for PSVR2, even though it's not a game, which is a bit of a joke. But it does have a quite nice environment in there, and there are a couple of different areas which I'd recommend taking a look, including the dioramas area of the climate change app, which shows you devastated hurricane landscapes and coral reefs and ice caps, which are quite impressive as they're 3D scanned and you can see the depth there. So it's a free app, go and install it. I'd recommend just kind of going through and looking at those dioramas. If you don't look at anything at all else, they are worth seeing in VR. It's quite a cool experience and it's free, so why not? Anyway, that'll do us for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.